guys, my name's Calatea. I'm one of the co-owners and operators here at Tinkers. My husband and I have been running this business together since August of 2022, and it actually started as a business called MK Vending Co. As the name suggests, we were getting into the vending industry at the time. We ended up leaning very heavily into amusement vending, which is when we created our Tinkers brand. At this point in time, Tinkers is a lot more than a vending route. We started with quarter turn like candy and toy machines, and eventually branched into claw machines. When we branched into claw machines in July of 2023, we realized that that was something we really enjoyed doing. The maintenance time was a lot lower than the bulk machines that we were running originally, and we decided that was what we were going to lean really heavily into. For the first 6 months of the last year, we were really heavily expanding on our claw machine route. At least that was our main focus at the time. In March of 2024, we went to MBVA, or Amusement Expo, in Las Vegas, and we very quickly realized what the potential was for our route not only to grow, but for us to grow past the extent of our route. We'd been toying around with the idea of opening a storefront here in our small town, specifically in the little strip that we're located in now, but we weren't really sure what we wanted to do. While we were at MBVA, we got a call saying that one of the spaces had opened up, the one that we're in now, at $175 a month. And we made the decision then to basically say, yes, we'll take the space, but we didn't know what we were doing with it. All we knew was that at $175 a month, it would be really, really hard to fail. So we took the risk and we decided we were going to go ahead and take the space. It ended up being that we thought we would be starting a candy store. From the time we were at MBVA to the time we got home, we realized very quickly that a candy store probably wasn't going to be enough to sustain itself here in this small space. And I'm really glad we didn't go with that route, because candy suppliers ended up being really hard to find and work with. We ended up doing a small accumulation of like arcade, candy, manga, games, toys, just a little bit of everything that we personally found interesting. I guess it's like a toy and hobby shop with like an arcade video game store twist. But we're working with a really small space. It's 220 square feet, so we don't have a lot of space to work with. We're just kind of trying to throw a few things out the wall, see what sticks right now. Right around the same time that we realized we would be getting into a store space, we also realized we wanted to start treating YouTube more like a job because of how much it had done for us at that point. That was actually how we got to MBVA, was through sponsorship from our YouTube channel. And it made us realize just what the possibilities were on that front. Since then, we have become monetized, and there's just been a lot of benefit that came from starting a YouTube channel. And we also really liked the idea of being able to teach other entrepreneurs kind of what we were doing along the way, how we got started, a lot of the mistakes we've made, with the hopes that they won't make the same mistakes we did. And that's kind of been like the forefront focus of our channel from day one, whether we were showing people how to start a claw machine route or how to start a store. You can go back on our channel and we have a whole playlist showing how we put this store together that I think will be interesting if you want to see what the storefront kind of turned into. But ultimately, the main focus of the channel was to just kind of share our own mistakes and help other people kind of see, what our process looked like when it came to putting our business together. Because we're still very new to business, and we're navigating it from a beginner's perspective. And so I think we have always just really enjoyed sharing the process along the way. So when we realized we wanted to start treating YouTube like a business, obviously that kind of became my forefront focus, because I enjoy doing the content creation a little bit more than Michael does. He prefers negotiating and finding collections and stuff like that. We have our strengths and our weaknesses, and it works out really well for us. Around the same time we realized we wanted to start treating YouTube like a job, we were putting a lot of time into getting the store ready, and we realized that we had an entire opportunity here to start working on a back end of online reselling to support the storefront. And because we're in a small town, we were prepared for the storefront to do nothing and still be able to keep it open. So our vending route is supporting the storefront, and that was our first step. But we also knew we wanted to get an online backend started so that we had that secondary crutch if we needed it to keep this place open. We've seen too many businesses open in our small town and close a year later because they didn't have the right financial support or structures in place before they opened. And so that was one of the biggest things that we knew we needed to do. On that same note, we get into the topic of today's video, which is, when is it time to go full-time? We have always known that going full-time was never going to be a matter of just wanting to quit our day jobs, because we understood the financial benefit that still came from having a day job at that point. We always knew that if we ended up going full-time in the business, it would be because our hand had basically been forced at that point. Our business needed more time than we could provide at our day job, and there was more benefit from putting that time into our business than putting it into a day job. Now, at this point in time, my husband Michael and I have made the very difficult decision to actually have one of us go full-time. This coincided with the fact that I have been doing home care for the last year, and if you don't know what that is, it can be a little bit of an unstable job. People move a lot, people die a lot, and that is just the nature of the job. Now, when I found myself in a position where I had no clients, it happened to coincide very nicely with the fact that we needed more time to put into this store. After opening the doors, we realized 4 days a week was not going to be enough. Of course, we were getting really good business at that point. And so I don't say it wouldn't be enough in the sense that we wouldn't be able to keep the shop open, but that we saw more of a demand than we were able to meet being open 4 days a week. We wanted to be in here more than 4 days a week. So we made the decision to go to 7 days a week, which means I'll be in here 7 days a week, unless Michael's off and able to kind of like switch off with me. But for the most part, I'm in here 7 days a week right now. What we've been able to do with those additional 3 days has been invaluable. We've been able to start scheduling our channel a little bit more. That means we're doing a long form on Mondays and Fridays and a short form every other day of the week. That's what's been achievable for us right now with everything else going on. We've been able to start doing our online reselling at a much greater scale, and we're able to treat it more like a business than we were able to before. We've never been able to dedicate this much time to online reselling, and we're already reaping the benefits of being able to do that. We have 4 main branches of our business. We have our channel, which I consider to be a branch of our business because of the benefits we've seen come out of it, even if they are not monetary. We have our reselling, we have our claw machine route, and we have our storefront. Each of those things we wanted to be treating like a business, but ultimately we only had the time to dedicate to our claw machine route and our storefront. We needed more time to dedicate to those other avenues if we wanted to see them grow. Now, within the first month of being able to go full time, we've seen our channel grow by 1/3 of what it was originally. A lot of that has come down to the ability to schedule things out. That means usually I'll do a lot of recording in one day, and then I'll schedule it out for, a week or two and just prepare to, have a little backlog going on. It used to be I would record, edit, upload the same day, and you guys would get content immediately. Now it's to the point where it's like, okay, it's scheduled out a bit because that's what works best for us at this time. Ultimately, when it comes to going full time, it felt like our hand was a little bit forced in this regard. One, because we knew that I was going to have extra time on my hands because of the fact that my day job was being unreliable. But we also realized that there was untapped potential in that time that could be better spent. We always knew it would never be a matter of jumping into full time because we wanted to. This was exactly how we were expecting it to go. Maybe not in this exact way, but this is exactly how we expected it to go. We expected it to be a matter of, okay, we have the time. We need that time to go to the business, not to another day job. This is what's going to happen. So we had pretty much planned that this was going to be how it happened at some point. We just didn't know that it was going to happen in this way. Now at this point, Michael's doing 3 days a week at his day job still, but we already are starting to see the benefit in him doing full-time as well, because the amount of collections he would be able to go pick up with that additional time, the amount of reselling he'd be able to tackle with that additional time would be unmatched. There would be so much more that he could do with that time, but we're still kind of like holding on by a thread to that day job, just because of, I think we also kind of fall into the same trap everybody else does, where a day job gives a false sense of stability, and we both already recognize that there really is no sense of stability in a day job, because as an employee you can be dropped just like that, and that's just how day jobs work. There doesn't really need to be a cause. Whereas in your own business, if something goes wrong or you're not making the sales you need to, you can rework your business plan in a way that starts to reflect what you actually need out of it. So for us, I think that it's scary to realize that we're getting to a point where we're able to rely on ourselves fully, but also we recognize at this point in time that it's not going to be any less stable than a day job. In fact, if anything, it'll feel more stable because it is all reliant on us and our own work ethic and what we can do better. At the end of the day, going full-time, even just one of us going full-time, has allowed us the opportunity to treat every branch of our business like its own business, where we used to be lacking really heavily on parts we wanted to give more attention, like our reselling and our channel. We've also been able to put a lot more time into marketing in our small town and connecting with other local business owners, which has already proved to be infinitely valuable. And since opening the storefront, I will say there's one benefit to having a brick and mortar store versus just doing vending. Vending, I think when you chat with other business owners, your entire business is reliant on the ability to place in somebody else's establishment, an establishment in which they have a lot at stake, versus having a brick and mortar storefront. When we're interacting with other business owners now, it's not like a, hey, I'm at your mercy because I need you to be able to make this happen. It is a, hey, we've both made something happen. Let's see if we can chat now and work out a deal that's beneficial for both of us. I think we've recognized just in the interaction with other business owners that something has changed with being able to show a brick and mortar storefront, proof of the fact that we've been able to create something. And that has just been another benefit that has come from opening the storefront. Unrelated to going full-time, just something that we've recognized is it seems like other business owners are more willing to take a brick and mortar storefront seriously versus a street vendor that is just kind of reliant on those brick and mortar storefronts to keep their business going. We still love vending. It's something we're going to continue doing just because it's unmatched. The profit margins, the time dedicated to managing the business, it is unmatched. Nothing else will ever beat that, and so that's something that we still want to continue to do. We're thinking we're probably going to cut it off around 25 machines, but we'll see. We may end up going further than that. It's all going to be dependent on where we're at in life at that point. But at the end of the day, when it comes to when it's time to go full-time, for us it was a matter of, it feels like our time is better spent here in the shop than it is at a day job, and we already recognize where there would be benefit to Michael also being full-time. We're really aiming to buckle down on our vending route for the next 6 months and hopefully get him full-time within the next year. Right now he's only doing 3 days a week at his day job, so of course he has the other 4 days to dedicate to, whatever else we're working on. But that's still 3 days dedicated to something that isn't reaping additional benefit from our own creation. At the end of the day, that's just kind of our mindset on when it felt like the right moment for one of us to go full-time, and a little bit of what our plans are going forward. As far as the store goes, it's done exceptionally well. We were really, really surprised to see what it did in its first partial month open. We're already on track for another great month right now. Of course, we can't predict the future, so we'll have to just kind of see how things go. We recognize that there's probably going to be a really unpredictable time where we don't know what the store is going to be making, and so that's really scary. There's a lot of risk we're taking on with that, especially now that we've dropped down one stable income that wasn't really stable because of the nature of the work it was. We actually recently had somebody drive up from a nearby town because they'd seen our videos on TikTok and wanted to come down and see the store, so that was awesome. Another reason we want to put ourselves out here online, because it gives us the opportunity to connect with people in our area that may not otherwise realize we're here. So overall, it's been a really productive month. We've made some big changes this month, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to share where we're at with all that. Store's going great. The route is in the process of being expanded on more. We're very happy with how life is going right now. I'm not going to lie and say it's not stressful, because it's stressful every single day, but we wouldn't be doing anything else right now. So thank you guys for watching. We enjoy sharing the journey. We enjoy hearing that it's helped other people out. And it's been great to connect with other small businesses here online, kind of branch out a little bit and start connecting with other people in other niches. So thanks for watching. And if you want to see more entrepreneurial content of ours, you can go ahead and subscribe. We cover our claw machine route. We cover our toy store, and we're hoping to branch out into more of the behind the scenes of the content creation side of our business and the reselling side, because I think really anything that has an entrepreneurial touch to it we want to be touching on, because getting to the point where we could go full-time was not a matter of one thing working out. It was a matter of like 5 or 6 different things we're working out. So we want to touch on all of those things. We don't just want to touch on one thing. Thank you guys for watching. We have a few affiliate links in the description below, alongside some other ways you can support the channel. We do have a membership available now. If you guys want early access to long-form videos like these, you can join our membership for $1.99 a month. You get early access to long-form videos, as well as a little badge that goes next to your comments and shows people, that you're a supporter of the channel. Thank you to our members this month. We gained 3 members this month, and I'll go ahead and put their names up on the screen. Thank you guys. If you want to see more entrepreneurial content like this in the future, stay tuned, and we'll continue to share the process.